Nani Pajunen, and I work in the Turku University of Applied Sciences as a leading specialist. And my target is to make transition towards sustainable and fair global economy. So quite a big task. And I've been working with many industrial sectors and in sustainability area the whole my career. So, and today, even that it's textile focused topic today, I will tell you some examples from other industrial sectors. And please, next slide. And when we are talking about the big change, it would be easier if we could have a white empty paper and create a new kind of global economy. Because present economy, it's based on overusing natural resources. And now we try to fix an engine which is broken. So where are we now? We know that 90% of the biodiversity loss is based on overusing natural resources. Around 40% of the CO2 emissions are coming from the processing materials, and only 10% of the materials are recycled back in use. And Vega, if you could go further there. So, and the next slide, please. However, we are at the moment in a situation that we are using more and more natural resources. We are selling more and we are creating more and more. We are creating more sustainable products as well. However, we are creating all the everything we have produced before. So we haven't changed anything. And that's the big task at the moment. We need to understand that at the same time, when we create more sustainable products and materials, we need to do also something from the rest of this production. So like you see here in these numbers, the business is only growing and growing and growing. And if you listen to the politics talk, they always talk about economic growth, but it should be sustainable economic growth. So please, Vega, next one. And the next one. So we are living in a complex world. We are talking about future. However, we need to understand that all the history of humankind is coming to the end of life someday. Materials and products. We need to recycle those materials. We don't even know what kind of mixed materials there are. And at the same time, we are creating something sustainable future. So we need to learn from the past and create sustainable future. And we need research and development in both sides, because we don't know those mixed materials. We know to, before we recycle those materials, we have to know that there are no any harmful chemicals or anything before we recycle those in use in future. So learn from the past and create the sustainable future. And the next one. When we talk about green energy, we need to understand that we need valuable rare earth metals in wind turbines. We need those rare earth metals also in all smart technology, digitalization, batteries, electric cars. So we need more mines, because like you remember, we are recycling only 10% of the materials at the moment. Even that we could recycle everything we already use in the society around us, it's not enough if we don't understand that we need to take something off. We can't produce and produce and produce more. So when we talk about sustainable future and we talk about digitalization and green energy, we need to understand the connections. And when we create something new, we remember that 90% of the biodiversity loss is based on use of raw materials, natural resources, and 40% of the CO2 emissions are coming from the processing those materials. So also smart technology in textiles need these kind of valuable mineral resources. So we should use smart technology, digitalization, and everything only in those cases where this is really important and create something sustainable future. So next one. The question is how to increase slow fashion and sustainable textile industry and at the same time decrease the harmful textile industry. This sounds easy, but it's not easy. And the second one. Textiles, like all the materials which are surrounding us, are more or less mixed at the moment. If we have some pure 100 cotton or 100 polyester, it's easier to recycle. However, when we have these really mixed materials, it's really challenging to recycle those in use in the second life and the second life, next life and next life. So, and why I put also this, now it's going around these slides. Yes, so, and the question is how to develop those materials, how to design products that those are easier to recycle to the next life and the third life and so on. And then you can add the next one. And back to the complex world, why I add the oceans and marine industry here? You can Vera put the next one. It's because of the trade. 90% of the world trade goes by the sea roads. And at the same time, the oceans plays a crucial role for air that we need to breathe. And it's our future is depending on oceans. And at the same time, we know that marine industry, it's not sustainable at all in global level. Next one. And just as an example, only 10% of the dismantling is done in industrial countries. And this is only touching the complexity when we are talking about sustainable and fair global economy. Every industrial sectors are connected, and we are talking about global value nets. So when we make changes in one part, we need to make changes in all of the parts of the global value nets. Then next one, please. And next one. Circular economy is one of the solutions. The principles of circular economy, well, those are quite clear and easy to understand, but not so easy to take in use. In here today, the target is to keep materials and products in use as long as possible. Next one, please. And at the same time, when we create sustainable textile industry, we need to decrease something. Because now, if we create more sustainable production in textile industry, and we don't do anything about the old way of doing textiles, it's just growing economy. So how to slow down the harmful textile industry and create more sustainable textile industry. Next one. In Finland, we published the National Circular Economy Roadmap 2016, and it was not only a strategy paper, but action plan. And during the years 2017 and 2019, we had many actions how to really integrate circular economy in businesses in all of the sectors of the society. Also, education was a huge part of this change, because we all need to understand that it's our role to make that change. It's not only like one sustainability professional who is making the change, but all of us, we have a role in this transition. And the key thing was in this circular economy roadmap, life cycle thinking, rethink everything before you do anything. the crucial decisions are made in the beginning of life cycle. And the next one. And when we, Vera, could you please, next one? Okay, good, thank you. So all of the life cycle, phases of the life cycle, there are also possibility to take new kind of business models in use. And today, one discussion topic is product as a service. We can talk about material as a service as well. Like we heard from Timo's presentation, that we all have valuable materials and products in our homes. So the same thing, it's materials. I was joining in World Circular Economy Forum last week. It's the big conference organized by the Finnish Innovation Fund Sitra. And I was joining a mining session. And it was a mining session from organized by African countries. And they were really talking about the material as a service, because they are losing actually valuable materials. Like we talked before, that mining industry is growing and we need those metals in future, at the moment and in the future. But African countries, they are actually losing those valuable materials at the moment. And that's why they are talking about material as a service. Is that a good kind of business model in future? Because that's the way how they can be sure that those materials are coming back in that area. So they have also in future businesses in those with those metals. Next one. And all the industrial processes are more or less the same kind. We put something in the industrial processes, we are getting out some products, and then we get some not wanted results, impacts for nature. There are wastewater, emissions, noise, dust, light pollutions, and so on. And next one. And when we plan industrial processes, we can also create industrial system. This kind of system can be called eco-industrial park, or we can also see this as a global value net, where we can learn from each other, we can have collaboration, we can have common business opportunities, common education, training, and of course we can have new kind of business opportunities, which is, I think, the most important when we create sustainable and fair global economy. Next one, please. However, when we talk about sustainability, we need to understand that it's always economy, it's always businesses. I always say that we can save the world when the saving the world is a good business. So when you think in your businesses how to take the next step, you still need to think about global markets, environmental impacts, social impacts. Of course, it has to be profitable, your business. And then you need to think all of these responsibility perspectives, trainings, skills and know-how, competitors, are you the first in the market and the market is not ready, and so on. And from strategy level to operational level. And the next one. So what can we do? We can learn from each other. And please, the next one. We have published the guidebook, How to Establish an Eco-Industrial Park. And when I was looking at that guidebook, I noticed that actually these are quite good steps for all of us who are creating new business. So what is your vision and plan? Set the targets, and set the targets high enough, and create a collaboration network. And if you are the coordinator or the manager, still take some good colleagues, experts to work with you. because it's not easy task because we have so many perspectives here. And think your business model and maintain your networks. You can't manage by yourselves because we are living in a complex world and everything is connected. And the next one, please. Communicate and train yourselves, train your team, and tell your story again and again. Grow and develop. And when you achieve your targets, set the new targets and build and maintain trust, because business is always a question about the trust and in collaboration and your network. And communicate your success and remember to celebrate. When you achieve the target, celebrate and set the new targets. And the next one, please. Then we have some challenges. The next one, please. These are based on research. What are the challenges in industrial circular economy? We have economy perspectives. Is the market ready? I think that's the biggest question. Is the market ready for new kind of businesses? And is there a lack of market even? And what kind of business model is good your businesses? Then we have technical perspectives. Is technology ready already? Do we need to create new kind of technology? And then there is regulation. Is regulation a driver or barrier? Can I make that kind of businesses I want to? Are the environmental permit procedures long? And so on. And the next one. And then, of course, other companies in the market. There are lack of know-how, and do they know the circular economy? And of course, the trainings, education, and where can you find the right networking companies? And is the global network ready for this kind of new solutions? And of course, attitude. It's always a question about attitude. Is the market ready? Do I want to have sustainable products? Do I want to have, as an individual, am I ready to take these new kind of circular economy, sustainable products and materials in use? Next one. And as an individual or business to business, business to customers, we have really challenges in the decision making. We have pandemics, we have plastics in oceans, we have linear economy, we have data economy, trust economy, deep growth, donut economy. We have future of work, we have AI, smart solutions, conflict minerals, metaverse, new technologies, security risk, and where is the data, who is owning the data. And in this complex world, we need to make decisions every day, every moment, and we need to understand what is our role, what is role of our businesses in the future, in the sustainable future. Next one, please. So the next steps, please go ahead. We are aiming a good life. And the next one, and we really need to understand that it needs changes in all of the sectors of the society. It's not only textile industry, it's a mining, it's a forest industry, energy, it's a process manufacturing, transport, cities, municipalities, chemical, whatever. Every sectors need to make changes, and we all have a role in this big change. We call that systemic change in global economy. Next one, please. So I would like to remind you and ask you to think, what does transition towards sustainable and fair global economy mean to you? And what are the targets you want to set to yourselves? And how to achieve the set targets? Do you have an action plan? And what are the potential risks if you don't take the first step, I think you have already taken the first steps because you are here in this workshop today. What about your network? What about your collaborative companies? Do they have an action plan? And what will be your solution to extend the lifespan of textile? That's the topic of today. Okay, thank you. I'm sorry for the mixed that my slides were not working. I don't know what was the problem. Okay, thank you.